I was both a spy and a tool of international capitalism, was the allegation.
Start by telling us about the work you were doing in Myanmar.
So Myanmar was locked away from the world for about 50 years. And so what I was trying to do was to help the new government, a new civilian government had been elected, trying to help them bring about economic reform and turn things around.
So then comes a military coup. It swings back from a democratically elected government to a military junta running it. Within 6 days, you get a message in your hotel.
So I get a message saying that military intelligence had taken over the hotel and that a security camera was focused on my door and that it was time to get out.
So tell us about the box. This is where they take you inside this prison, inside a room, inside another room. It sounds horrific.
It was horrific. Yeah, it was a very, very small room, sort of like inside a shipping container, concrete floor, nothing in the room except for a metal chair in the centre with some chains attached to it. And those chains also had some ankle and wrist manacles there. And I was locked in that box for 2 months.
So you write in the book that previous to this, the toughest thing you'd ever been through was having to tell a student that their essay wasn't very good. Suddenly, there you are, an Australian economist, a relatively small man, confronted by these soldiers, thrown into this cell. Sounds very claustrophobic, uncomfortable, hot, dark. You don't even really know what time of day it is. What was that like?
Yeah, it was all of those things, Tom, and just totally unlikely. I mean, the whole thing. And yeah, it was horrific. And the first thing you're trying to, what do you do? How do you keep panic at bay? And the main first thing that comes to mind is to pace up and down, just like an animal in the zoo. I think it comes to us instinctively. So I'd walk up and down and count my steps.
How
And
big was this box?
really tiny, so it was 8 steps from one end of the box to the other. And so I used to count that, and again, as a way of, just trying to stay calm. I had all sorts of mind games going on to keep my mind off things, and I tried to list all the presidents of the United States in order, all the US states, all the Australian prime ministers, anything I could to get my mind off where I was.
And then at moments that you have no idea are coming, you're ripped out of that box and interrogated. What becomes very clear, and this is one of the most fascinating parts of the story, is that these soldiers believe a conspiracy theory that you are somehow in Myanmar at the behest of an American billionaire, George Soros, to undermine Myanmar,
That's
to
right.
take it over for Western forces.
That's right. And it was the combination. They said I worked for George Soros and MI6. So I was both a spy and a tool of international capitalism, was the allegation.